Overseer.
I mean, is there a way that you think K&D can actually get into her, or is it just kind of a lost cause when you have that big of a wall sitting there?
They have to try to play the pick game. They have to take down numbers and try to maybe force a bad Uber, an Uber that will like be to get out instead of to, aggressively fight with. So I think you need your spy and your sniper really to come through big, and maybe some kind of. I think Etney, the soldier for K&D, is a kind of a big fan of the Beggar's Bazooka. I would not be surprised if that came into play on this map.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a few points on this map, like say pushing the second point, where the defense usually sits around a corner. It's almost like a free bomb with the Beggar's Bazooka just around the corner directly onto where the combo sits over on the balcony. If you can unload 3 rockets at close range like that, then you're likely to get a kill on the Engie or a force on the medic or something at least. And the third point's sort of the same. You can overload jump from the bottom of the deck all the way up to the top, so it's gonna... I don't know, I could see that happening maybe if Ginyu's not ready for it, but I'd be surprised if they weren't. Overseer, back on the original Ginyu force that I was a part of, we learned the hazards of the Beggar's Bazooka very, very well in a very long scrim once against, I forget what team it was, but Sneaky Polar Bear was running it on a map that just had no skybox, basically, and very long open lanes where you can just jump from spawn, basically, to the other team's spawn if you wanted to.
Oh, gosh.
So, I think they're going to be ready for it, but at the same time, if there's enough of a distraction for it to work, then it could be a problem. And if it's well-timed, and I don't think Etney's jumps really, from what I saw, his jumps for forces or anything, aside from that first mid on the last map, he was kind of going by himself. They weren't really timed too well, so Ginyu was just looking at him. Fathom had an ample opportunity to see him coming and not have to worry about anything else, just to kind of shut him down. So, like I said, a little more coordination out of K&D could go a long way on this map.
We'll have to see. I mean, they're a bit on the ropes right here. They do need to win this map, or they're going to be forced into another best of 3 over on Thursday. In case you guys are just kind of tuning into us here, we did have Ginyu, who took that first map over on Gully Wash. It was 3-1. They were looking pretty good over there. A map that, as Huey was talking about, kind of suited them a little bit better. And if K&D does come through and win this map, we will be going to Viaduct for our third and final map this evening, which would actually be a pretty good treat to see between these two teams. But we'll have to see if we get there first. Looks like we're almost ready to go. I think I see Dill sit and inspect there as well as Jarrett. So once these guys get over on their respective sides, we should be starting it off here. But I mean, Huey, any other thoughts? I mean, as far as these guys on this map go in particular? Or?
It's going to come down to the pick game. I think for Scissor and Storm Marion, I suppose on K&D, they need to make some magic happen. And Scissor was doing well, but last map, but obviously not really outdoing Max. He got a lot of medic picks, so if he can continue that, that'd be very good. But I don't know, it's gonna be tough. I think Ginyu has, they're obviously a team full of veterans, even if they're not scrimming much for these finals, this playoffs really. They all kind of know their roles, know what they're doing. There's not a single one of them who I don't think has been in this place before. I take that back. Patty and Mustard I don't think have played in a grand finals before, but everyone else I believe has at some point. So looks Overseer actually just messaged me. They are readying up, so we got a couple more minutes and then we'll be good to go. But K&D kind of they're kind of mostly a team of just Highlander players, and they know their game. They just need to try to play their game against this Ginyu Force team. They have, some standout players, some Sixes players that have come in, but for the most part, these guys are really just pure Highlander, and it'd be interesting to see them, take this around and force it to another map. But I think it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, as you said, that crazy experience does go quite a long way over on Ginyu, so we'll have to see if they can do it. I mean, while we have a couple minutes here, of course, on Thursday of last week, we had the big reveal for the Tangerine coming back next season. I mean, that video, I mean, how pumped are you guys to be back into it, man? Because I didn't really understand kind of the history and everything behind it, and I watched that video for the first time. I said it on the stream then, and I'll say it again now. I mean, I was like getting the chills when I alt-tabbed and I was watching it on the stream. I was like, holy crap, man, this is crazy,
Yeah, the thing about Tangerine is no one can be as big a fans as us. And I think people react to how much we like playing together. I think it's hopefully infectious. The joy that team had at one point, and hopefully we'll have again. We're looking forward to it. The whole thing kind of started back in early November with us just messaging each other saying, "Hey, if we played again, if Tangerine came back, would you play?" And most everyone just instantly agreed. Only one person we couldn't get back, and that was because of work. So.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. That video was done a couple weeks before and queued up and ready to go, and yeah, I think we're all looking forward to getting back in and playing together again. We might not be the best team, but I think it'll be fun to see us all again.
Yeah, that's what Frank West was saying. He said literally the exact same thing. He said, I don't know if we'll be the best team, but he said we do have a lot of fun playing and all that. So, good to hear. It's sure a lot of people are excited to see you guys back. But anyway, we are heading into our second map here, guys, of this grand finals matchup. Right now, Ginyu is up 1-0 as far as maps go in this best of 3. We have moved our way over to PL upward. If Ginyu does win this map here, we will be seeing another best of 3, which will be happening this Thursday. And then if we see K&D win this map here, we will be seeing Viaduct. Viaduct will be our last map of the evening. So, let's have to see how this one goes here. We're going to go ahead and start things off. We do have Ginyu, who's starting off on defense here. K&D, of course, over on offense, and Max is going to start it off by taking down Aussie. He is going to be a key guy to watch here in this game. Max has really made his presence felt last game. Going to be looking to see that same effect over here on this game.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking. It looks like K&D is just kind of posturing themselves. I'm looking at the soldier right now. He's just kind of chilling and getting headshot, actually. He was sitting there waiting, I think, for an opportunity to jump. I think he was waiting for the spy to be in position, which he may be, or it may actually be a respawn, as I thought I saw him dead ring, but they're just going to try to push the cart forward. We're looking for the perfect opportunity to try to come in and force. They didn't really get it, so they're going to have to reset and try to do it again.
So we see Storm Marion's working all the way around over on the right side here. Decloaked very much at the wrong time, and then she's going to blast him. But right now we do have a lot down. Actually, excuse me, I had missed it. The Uber had come out of Overseer there. She had used it, so that's going to leave Nursey with a pretty big advantage to work through here with who is still sitting all the way back in spawn at the moment. They're still kind of paddling on forward here, K&D, as they had a couple of frags out, and Banny's just going to absolutely destroy Ender there with some pipes, so that's going to still leave room here for Nursey to get through as she has worked his way up towards the cart here with the rest of the team, and Scissor was actually able to get the better of Max right there, and they didn't really do too much with the Uber advantage there. They did get the point, and Ginyu got themselves out, so I guess it's just time to set up on second for them as they get this cart all the way through tunnel here. We should see some even Ubers coming through as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard first hold. Kind of give it up. Don't really care to hold it too long. Got Stabby coming up. Want to see if he can take down Scissor. He does. He's gonna. No, he gets taken down by Etney in return. But Patty comes in and cleans up Etney. Uber did get forced out. Jared coming in trying to take some pot shots at Soldier at Mustard, and Fathom kind of just denying the Uber. The Uber return Uber was popped out, and the cart's still so far back that there's a lot down on Ginyu. And Banny going down, that's going to signal for sure the retreat. Great, actually really good exchange there for K&D. They're going to take this second point. It's just going to be about 2 minutes ticked off. That cart has pretty much never stopped, so I don't know. I guess the coordination so far has worked pretty well.
They definitely seem to be doing quite well at the moment. Now, Ginyu has worked themselves all the way back. Don't really seem to have too much of a presence here on the second point. Deal is still in there. I mean, this guy just doesn't care. He was just hanging out inside he was just kind of hanging out inside of the house, but he did get taken down there. But we were talking about it last week as far as defensive Uber advantages go on payload maps. Now, is that pretty much with every map you're not going to see the defensive team push back if they have an advantage? Is that something you should be doing, or just kind of wait?
It's really risky. I think there was one time really that it worked, and there's the Beggar's Bazooka takes down Max and Banny going down as well. So the pit classes, like I said, are kind of being key here. The defensive Uber I wouldn't be surprised to see one pretty soon here to get the force, but that's the thing, is you have to get a force or you have to kill the medic or it's completely wasted and you end up putting yourself in kind of a bad position to try to hold whatever spot you're wanting to hold. The one team that made it work was a team that was just so much better than everyone else in the league. Oh no, Patty going down. Overseer Force doesn't use her Uber on anything, just has to back out. They're going to get this point. Sentry Gun going down to nothing at all set up right now. Max is getting bonked. He's not able to shoot anyone down. Long range bonk. He's shuffling his way over back to the health pack. And so far, this has been super, super impressive. Not a single good hold for Ginyu so far. And now they're already up top and Ubering. They're taking the top point. The health is really bad for Ginyu. Overseer must be back in the spawn right now. They're going to have to wait for respawns, and this cart's just going.
Yeah, it looks like they really don't have anything to stop this right now. I mean, Banny's going to be up there up top, but that wrangled mini from the NG over on K&D is just going to completely deny him access into the cart here. So it looks like K&D should be getting this one relatively quick here. They're just about to tip it on over the edge.
Banny getting bonked, can't spam stickies down. Yeah, wow. That's one of the quickest times I think I've ever seen.
Wow, 4 minutes and 35 seconds. That, I'm not that well versed in payload maps in Highlander, but I will say that I know that is a pretty damn quick time for those guys right there. So,
yeah,
that's going to be tough for Ginyu to even come close to that time, I would think. As you said, it really seemed as though the coordination for K&D really shined through for them there on that first round.
Yeah, Banny got picked before Overseer had a chance to Uber him on both, I believe, second and third, by first the Spy and then the Sniper, and the Spy, the Sniper, and then the Beggar's Bazooka coming, and just 9 max on the third point. That was enough for K&D to kind of move Scissor up into position and take pot shots to E1 for free. And it worked out very, very well. Those 3 classes that I kind of called out, I think I'm a little full of myself right now, Gex. I'm happy that turned out exactly the way I thought it might. But
yeah, you're literally calling, I think, this game like word for word. That plus like the fact that Ginyu's gonna do really good on the first map, and then the second map's gonna be a little, tough for them. I mean, you're gonna be spot on here. If we hit Viaduct, I wish Saloon was up for us to be betting, because I'd be taking your word for it. But anyway, back into this round here, we have Ginyu, who pretty much needs to be on this cart, moving it the whole entire round here. They don't have too much of a choice other than that, as we see Candy had an extremely good time there on that first round. So here we go. We do have them moving up here. Kresnik's actually going to go down to Stabby. And we have Overseer playing on the right side at the moment. A lot down right now for K&D, though.
This is when they need to trade Ubers, right now. And looks like it does get forced. Banny went down, and so did Dill, though. Storm Arian kind of picking up the slack. Getting 2 big picks on the combo. First forced to Uber just on Fathom. They're going to get the point. Nursey's going to get back. Overseer actually has a little bit of an advantage. That definitely didn't go how they wanted it to. And the cart's actually not being pushed right now. That's not very good for Ginyu.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that should be stressed for them more than anything right now. That they need to be having guys on the cart at all times.
Stabby pretty much up and takes down Jared up on the hill. So the cart just needs to keep moving here. They're in a good position. I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves, knowing that they've got to have a really good time. But you can just play at the pace of the cart, and you're doing pretty well. Max and Stabby kind of combining. The Sentry Gun should go down. The NG was down.
Ooh, they're doing work right now, and it looks like they're pushing them off of this second right now. I mean, they've got a lot of pressure onto them. Dill's just hanging out on top like he always does there. He's over at window. Mustard was getting into distract for a little bit as well, and Nursey's a little bit hurt as well right now, and they're just keeping that cart moving as Patty's going to be pushing that one.
It's pretty far back, though, and Nursey still has the Uber to defend this point. I hope they don't get too stuck on defending, because they're not in a very good position, but they can maybe delay a little bit. I would probably rather just see them back up. Without a Sentry Gun, the Uber's going to go...
they used it, though. They used it. They're going to go ahead and move forward with it.
I think that was one of those defensive, offensive Ubers we kind of talked about. Without getting Overseer there, they need to combine here, and Overseer just needs to be a little careful. K&D has a lot of them. If they push up, they still have a chance.
Oh,
there
Aussie.
It is.
Oh, Aussie was able to get through and just finish off Overseer there.
You cannot leave your medic. when you're down a few, and Ginyu just left their medic there, and Overseer from the flanking scout got killed, no one there to protect her.
Yeah, I think that right there will spell the end for Ginyu on this round, pretty much. They only have 1 minute and 50 seconds left here to try and get something on this here. I mean, they do get this second point, but with 1 minute 40 left, I don't even know if it's mathematically possible for them to finish it in that amount of time.
I think it might barely be, but any stall from here on out, it's it, I think.
Yeah, that's not looking good for them. They might have to go back to the drawing board after this one and kind of reevaluate. But I mean, K&D's just their coordination, as you were saying. I mean, I know we've kind of been beating the dead horse with the whole coordination thing, but that's really, honestly, it seems so far one of the biggest difference makers for them in this game here as to why they're winning.
Absolutely, and they've backed out of both of these points at the right time. They kind of know what they're doing. The practice, I think, is showing pretty well. Even when one player goes down, the rest kind of come in and adapt and do what they need to. Jared actually got dropped in the middle of the maneuver. That's interesting to see. The cart still has not actually been stopped. The gun, though, I think the gun's going to stall them out. Just enough, even if it's were to keep moving here. Yeah. Even if we're technically possible at this point, which it's close, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty tough. I mean, Overseer does have the Uber up. They do have full advantage at the moment. Banny's sitting with it. I mean, they got pretty much everybody that they can afford to put on the cart right now. Well, they did anyway. And
yeah, I think they can get it to the last little curve if it doesn't stop moving, but I think that's about it. I don't think they can get it up in.
Well, they did pop it in here. They only have 8 seconds. I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to just try and get the sentry gun down at least, but that's going to go ahead, spell the end of it right there, as the coordination, once again, from K&D, just very good, very, very strong for them right there. They go ahead, take the first kind of set there in our map over on Payload. I mean, at this point, other than, obviously simply for Ginyu at this point, it's have better coordination, but what can they do necessarily? I mean, it's just as far as defending and attacking, these guys who just seem to be spot on this map.
Well, I think it was just maybe not being quite ready for like the Beggars play, not spy checking very well, and just Scissor getting the picks after the spy and the soldier had kind of opened up opportunities for him. And that's K&D kind of needs to repeat that onto Viaduct. I wouldn't be surprised to see more Beggars on Viaduct, actually. It's not the best map for it, but you can still do some work with it. Yeah, I think maybe the lack of practice really showed there. Again, you didn't know how to react to some players going down early in fights. They didn't really hold themselves well after that. With Viaduct, yeah, it's going to come down more to frags than this was, I guess. And I mean, this was really just, I've never been a big fan of the attack defend in the finals, because you do only play one round, and so much of attack defense is kind of learning what the other team does and countering it in the next round, and you just don't get that opportunity here. So really, one mistake does kind of end the game for you. I think the last finals I played in on Street Hoops, that was very much the case. The other team did an unorthodox hold that we had never seen before, and we had no idea what to do. So we lost our pick, to a 1/2 game, which is risky. This could be a much longer game. This has the potential to go 3-2, so we could have some very long rounds here. I'm on Viaduct, and I don't know. I'm Max versus Scissor, I think.
Yeah.